much. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. Mark is off today. Eric Franke is filling in. How you doing?
I'm doing better than Mark, apparently. He's fallen victim to the bug.
The bug.
Everybody's getting something right now. It's
this
like
time of the year.
It's always this time of year.
But I appreciate your help.
Always good to be here on the 4.
And we have a busy show ahead, so here's what's making news on this Tuesday. Madison Metropolitan School District officials say they're cutting some staff as enrollment drops.
Now, the State Assembly ignoring a call from Governor Tony Evers for a special session as it pertains to education spending.
And New Hampshire voters are casting their ballots in the first primary of 2020.
We're getting ready for that. We're going to keep a close eye on that throughout our newscast today, but also the weather out there, because in the next couple of days, we're going to feel like February in Wisconsin.
It was nice today, though. It was nice and sunny. I was down on campus earlier today, and a lot of the snow is melting on the pads.
For now.
Right,
it's going to be frozen puddles in the next couple of days, because we've got 2 days of real winter coming our way.
Dana is out on the weather patio. Hi, Dana. What does that mean? Real winter.
Oh, it has, of course, felt like February for the last few days. Very seasonable temperatures, but we are due for a little bit of a cold spell moving on in. Right now, sunshine, of course, snow on the ground. It feels like February, but as we look ahead to the next few days, do know that it's going to be a little cold outside. Seasonally cold still for Wednesday, but Wednesday night into Thursday, the snow builds on in, and then for Thursday and Friday, our temperatures are really going to drop. So that's what we're going to call real winter, looking ahead to the end of the week. We'll take a closer look at some accumulation totals and just how cold it's going to get in just a few minutes. Right now, I do want to take a look at the roads. With our first Warren traffic update, here's a look at the Beltline at Park Street. Both east and westbound moving along fairly smoothly right now. I don't see any delays on the eastbound side until you get a little closer to John Nolan. Otherwise, all smooth sailing. A little better than what it usually looks like this time, actually, along the Beltline. The interstate, good, 39 all the way down to the state line. To get from Janesville to the Beltline, it'll take about 24 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and the same goes to get from Sun Prairie to downtown on this sunny evening.
All right, we'll get more details from you a bit. Dana, thank you.
Thank you, Dana. First at 4, the Madison Metropolitan School District is projecting a drop in enrollment next year.
And this is contributing to its estimated $3 million reduction of funds and a plan to cut some staff members. Our Amanda Quintana joins us now. She has the details. Amanda?
Yes, 51 students. That's how much the school district is planning on enrollment going down by across all grades. But surrounding schools are expecting to see more students. Verona thinks they'll see 55 more, Sun Prairie 79, and Middleton Cross Plains at least 100. A lot of that is due to housing development and growth in those areas. But Madison says they're making this projection by looking at the births in the city.
The number of students that we had born in the Madison and Fitchburg areas went down by about, say, 300 students. And what that will mean is about 90 fewer students for Madison schools in kindergarten next year.
While there are plans for development in the city of Madison, it's so large, the impact is spread across 53 schools, so it isn't felt as much as it is in those smaller districts. This is part of the reason why MMSD is pursuing a referendum in November. Right now, it's still in the budget process, so we don't know yet how many staff could be cut or what changes will need to be made.
All right, Amanda, thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. The Rock County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the victims of yesterday's double murder in Janesville. 27-year-old Brittany McAdory and 30-year-old Sarah Winchester were found with gunshot wounds in the 3200 block of Midvale Street around 3:15 yesterday morning. Officials say both women died from gunshot wounds after they were transported to a local hospital. The Janesville Police Department is investigating. We'll have more on this case coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 5.
Wisconsin State Troopers have reached a new contract deal with the state. This new deal updates the pay structure based on years of service and provides a 2% pay raise retroactive for the 2-year period that ended in July of last year. That's on par with what other state employees received during that time. The total cost of the new deal is about $2.6 million, which is about half as much as the original plan that called for a 20% starting salary boost, which Republicans argued was too much. Now that contract will be up for a vote tomorrow. Leaders in the state Assembly are ignoring the governor's call to take up bills that would put hundreds of millions of dollars in education.
They were supposed to be part of a special session that was scheduled for today. Our Amy Reed joins us now to explain why Republicans don't want to take this up. Amy?
The Assembly is in session now, but they aren't discussing bills that were proposed by Governor Tony Evers. Now, Evers wants to put $250 million of the projected $450 million surplus into education in the state. That's split up into various programs, some million into special education, some in mental health, some to rural schools. Republicans don't want to do this because they want to use the entire projected surplus to fund tax cuts, which they said weeks ago. But a Democrat from the Education Committee told reporters this morning that people across the state want this funding for their schools.
These bills are a product of hearing from administrators, teachers, school board members, community members all over Wisconsin telling us this is what they want, this is what they need. It's urgent and we should be responding to it.
Instead, today, lawmakers are discussing multiple bills that deal with our criminal justice system. Coming up tonight at 5, I'll tell you how those are progressing. As for the education funding, if Republicans aren't interested, they aren't likely to get through. Leadership for both chambers tweeted last week they want to use the money for tax cuts. The governor then responded, saying that this could do both, provide tax relief and fund education. And he said that he's disappointed that the Senate Majority Leader and Speaker of the Assembly don't agree with his plan.
Amy Reed live at the Capitol. Amy, thank you.
It is primary day in New Hampshire now. Voters there are weighing in on who they want to be the Democratic nominee for president. Skylar Henry reports from Bedford, New Hampshire.
Voters went to the polls to cast their ballots in the first presidential primary of 2020.
You got to go with your gut and what you want, not what you settle for something that's a compromise.
Candidates showed up to thank supporters and encourage a strong turnout.
You're going to have to bring people who in the past have not necessarily voted.
Polls show Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who won the New Hampshire primary in 2016, in the lead. Followed by former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
What makes him stand out to you all?
For me, it's his values, his calm demeanor.
Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar has surged in the last few days. She is now placing third in some polls by appealing to New Hampshire's many independents.
I feel like she could work with both sides and kind of reunite our country.
Joe Biden made his pitch to the state's moderates, but now says he's only mildly hopeful about his chances here. He announced today he's not sticking around for the results.
Instead, the former vice president is going to South Carolina and then on to Nevada.
The rest of the nation is out there. There's an awful lot of electoral votes to be had.
The last time New Hampshire voters picked the eventual Democratic presidential nominee was in 2004. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Bedford, New Hampshire.
And President Trump also had many supporters drumming up support in New Hampshire today, including Senators Lindsey Graham and Rick Scott. The president won New Hampshire's Republican primary back in 2016, but narrowly lost the state in the general election.
Nearly 200 evacuees from China quarantined for 14 days in California are getting released today. These nearly 200 evacuees were part of the first emergency flight from China, arriving at March Air Reserve Base in Moreno Valley, California, 14 days ago. Today, doctors gave each of them a final health screening and loaded them onto buses to take them off the base. Many are headed to local airports and all are free to go home.
We're all going through our final process screening right now to make sure that we have all our paperwork so we can go back to work and back to our community safe, healthy, and sound.
The 13 individuals in the United States have not yet had very severe illness. In fact, most have had very mild courses.
The World Health Organization has started a 2-day summit in Geneva to better understand the virus that has sickened over 43,000 people and killed over 1,000, most of them in China.
Torrential rains are finally putting out Australia's wildfires after months of deadly devastation, but the change in weather is bringing new challenges to the country. In Sydney, unprecedented rain has hit the city, its heaviest in 30 years, giving farmers some relief after years of drought. The needed relief comes after the months of the fires tore through Australia, killing at least 33 people and more than 1 billion animals. The widespread flames also destroyed thousands of homes, leaving residents like Jeff McCall picking up the pieces.
We'll get back. Yeah, it's just moving a bit slow for us at the moment.
The flash flooding is now Australia's latest danger, forcing evacuations as water submerges cars and swamps roads there as well. At this national park, storms created what's called a reverse waterfall. Tourists braved the weather for a picture while one surfer fearlessly faced the waves.
The aunt of one of 2 missing children in Idaho says their mother had recently become obsessed with the end of the world. As authorities work to find out what happened to Joshua J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, they're looking into the past of Chad Daybell, now married to the children's mother, Lori Vallow. Daybell self-published more than 25 books from this Idaho home, many about his brush with death and the end of the world. In a Skype interview, the missing girl's aunt says Vallow became obsessed with doomsday scenarios.
And she says, sometimes I think it would just be better just to put my kids in a car and go off the side of a cliff.
Vallow moved to Idaho to be with Daybell after her previous husband, Charles Vallow, died of suspicious causes last summer in Arizona. Daybell's wife, Tammy, also died under mysterious circumstances last fall. Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow have denied any wrongdoing.
Coming up, a warning about a popular kind of produce in the grocery store.
Leafy greens, of course, are among the healthiest foods you can eat, but they're also a top source of bacteria that can make you sick. We'll have Consumer Reports recommendations when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Anyone hear the slogan? Mike will get it done? Okay, let me tell you what it is. As mayor, I expanded health care coverage. As president, I'll build on Obamacare because health care is a right. I created nearly 500,000 jobs in New York City. As president, I'll build an economy that delivers good jobs with higher wages. I'll take on the gun lobby and save lives. And I will stop Trump's assault on women's reproductive rights. I've got a record of doing things. I've got the resources to take on this fight. As mayor, I held myself accountable for results. As president, I'll offer common sense plans, and I will get it done. So let's stay on the offensive and let's win. I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Go in the snow plus MPG, your Subaru Ascent from Don Miller. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and 27 MPG highway, the Ascent will get you through in great shape. It's the roomiest Subaru ever. The Ascent has third-row seating and space for 7 or 8 passengers. The 2020 Ascent Premium. Lease from only $319 a month, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, $19.99 due on signing. No security deposit. Don Miller Subaru, West on Odana or East Side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping many people with type 2 diabetes like James lower their blood sugar. A majority of adults who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
Here's your A1C.
Oh, my A1C is under 7.
And you may lose weight. Adults who took Ozempic lost on average up to 12 pounds.
I lost almost 12 pounds.
Oh.
Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
There's no increased risk.
Oh.
And I only have to take it once a week.
Oh. Ozempic should not be the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping me reach my blood sugar goal.
You may pay as little as $25 per prescription. Ask your healthcare provider today about once weekly Ozempic.
Well, Valentine's Day is only a few days away. It's usually an expensive gift-giving day for people in a relationship. According to the National Retail Federation, the average person will spend a little over $196 on those they love. That's an expected record-breaking total of $27.4 billion. Many people are expected to buy the traditional things like greeting cards, candy, flowers, and jewelry. But how about this? The average consumer is expected to spend $12 on their pet. They're at Valentine's too. That's about $7, up $7 from last year.
There's no way he's getting that much.
Tate's getting a Valentine?
No, not $12 worth.
A whole bag of Dove chocolate like he's eaten before.
Yeah, he loves that.
Southwest Airlines is adding another line to the safety speech that they give passengers right before takeoff.
Yeah, Southwest now will ask passengers to report unwelcome behavior to a flight attendant. A spokesman for Southwest confirmed the language had recently been added to the airline's pre-flight briefing to ensure a safe and welcoming environment at all times. Flight attendants have established procedures about what to do, including reseating a customer, notifying the captain, getting law enforcement involved upon landing if needed. SeaWorld says trainers will no longer stand or ride on dolphins. That move follows nearly a year of pressure from PETA, but SeaWorld says that had nothing to do with the changes, calling PETA, quote, a group of ill-informed activists. Instead, SeaWorld says it's continually evolving its animal presentations for both guests and their animals. SeaWorld also insists the practices are not harmful to the dolphins, but PETA is claiming victory, saying, quote, stopping trainers from treating dolphins like surfboards means less abuse at SeaWorld. A massive $26 billion telecom deal, years in the making, has finally been approved.
A federal judge has ruled that T-Mobile and Sprint, the nation's third and fourth largest wireless carriers, will be allowed to merge. Efforts have dragged on for years to bring the two companies together. The judge said in his ruling he didn't think the companies would pursue anti-competitive behavior, rejecting the lawsuit by a dozen U.S. states. The new company will keep the T-Mobile name. Sprint's stock soared more than 70% after the ruling. The deal could be finalized in early April. The companies say the merger will employ 11,000 more full-time people than the standalone companies would have over the next 4 years. Samsung unveiled its latest flagship device, the Galaxy S20, at its Unpacked event today in San Francisco.
Yeah, it boasts a new camera architecture. Samsung says it's capable of taking professional-grade photos and videos. It's the first time that Samsung is releasing a fully 5G lineup, with all versions touting support for emerging mobile technology. The new phones also have an even bigger battery. The Galaxy S20 has 3 variants ranging in price from nearly $1,000 to nearly $1,400. The phones are available for pre-order online. That'll start Friday, February 21st. They'll hit stores on March 6th.
The S&P and the NASDAQ closed on record highs today as investors see another round of mostly solid company earnings reports. The Dow did close unchanged after being up much of the day. The NASDAQ was up 10.5. The S&P gained 5.5.
All right, if you're trying for a healthy diet, chances are you're eating plenty of nutrient-rich leafy greens.
They can also, though, carry E. coli and other harmful bacteria, so you have to be careful.
Yeah, Josh Pryder in Consumer Reports explains the root of the problem and how to protect yourself.
If you think you can't go wrong eating leafy greens like lettuce, kale, and spinach, you're mostly right. They've been linked to reduced risk of heart disease, some cancers, and type 2 diabetes. But behind their star-studded benefits lie risks that can be dangerous. Between 2006 and 2019, greens like romaine, spinach, and bags of spring mix were responsible for at least 46 national outbreaks of E. coli, causing many hospitalizations and even some deaths.
So here's the challenge. We want people to eat these green vegetables, these healthy leafy greens, but they're easily contaminated by bacteria.
Bacteria that come from animal feces can get into the foods we eat. Many greens, especially romaine lettuce, are grown in California and Arizona. For leafy green farmers, keeping fields free from dangerous bacteria is a challenge.
You're always worried about contamination with animals. If you're growing outside, even just wild birds kind of flying overhead, you have the risk of Salmonella, E. coli.
It is important for farmers to take steps like keeping animals away from fields, sanitizing equipment and boots, and wearing gloves. But even with these precautions, it's still possible for contaminants to end up on the greens. So should you stop eating leafy greens? Well, CR says that for most people, the nutritional benefits far outweigh the potential contamination risks. Not everyone who is exposed to Salmonella or E. coli gets sick, but for people who are most vulnerable, that includes pregnant women, older adults, infants, and young children, and anyone with a compromised compromised immune system, they should carefully consider whether to eat raw greens.
One of the best things you can do is cook it. So cook it to the point where it's wilted.
For Consumer Reports, this is Josh Spreiter with News 3 Now.
Thank you, Josh. And Consumer Reports says don't be fooled by labels that say that greens have already been triple washed.
Even though the most thorough washes are primarily designed to remove dirt and grit, they can't ensure that the greens are actually bacteria-free.
Wash it and cook it. Those are the best tips. Well, there's more to come at 4. When we come back, we'll go behind the scenes of one of the most popular game shows on television.
We'll meet the man who says those 3 iconic words. This is Jeopardy! When Live at 4 continues.
Surgenian's 90-year history means you pay $90 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad, your furniture moved, and your old carpet recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
This is the Denny's Super Slam. 2 bacon, 2 sausage, 2 eggs, hash browns, and pancakes. And now make those pancakes all you can eat for $1. That's where the duper comes in. The all-new Super Duper Slam. Just $6.99. See you at Denny's.
Needed Relief Day Spa and Wellness is more than a place where you can come to relax and be pampered. It's a place where you can revitalize your life. Revitalize those around you and give the gift of wellness with a Needed Relief gift certificate. Available online.
It's exactly what I needed.
Managing type 2 diabetes? Dimitri's on it. Eating right and getting those steps in?
On it.
Dimitri thinks he's doing all he can to manage his type 2 diabetes and heart disease. But is his treatment doing enough to lower his heart risk?
Sorry.
Maybe not. Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease. So it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And it lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it. With Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
Vision. See more life.
Built for your next adventure, it's the 2020 Subaru Crosstrek Premium at Don Miller. With symmetrical all-wheel drive, the Crosstrek has vehicle dynamics control and eyesight driver assist technology. Lease the Crosstrek Premium, $239 per month plus tax, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, no security deposit, $1939 due at signing. Get all-wheel drive plus MPG. The 2020 Crosstrek Premium at Don Miller Subaru, West End Odana or East Side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
All right, take a look at this. A father dresses up to greet his kids at the bus stop. His oldest daughter is at that age, you know, where everything he does is super embarrassing. So he feels like it's the perfect time to put on a flamingo costume and try to embarrass all 3 of his kids in front of their friends. His youngest child loves it, you know, just cracks up as he walks off the bus.
Oh, here
the
comes
middle
our
child,
kid.
somewhat, you know, kind of like, okay, whatever, I can deal with it. Gives dad a hug. The oldest, as predicted, super embarrassed. She takes one look at him, puts her head down, and simply tries to walk away as quickly as possible.
I have no idea who this person is.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy?
Don't even acknowledge it.
Well, you've probably seen this today. An old viral challenge is sweeping the internet once again, the broom challenge.
It consists of making a broom stand up on its own, and then, of course, you have to post the video online. The broom challenge has been around since at least 2012. There's a viral tweet that is not true from NASA said that Monday was the only day that this trick would work because of the gravitational pull, but the truth is that it can be done any time of the year. Has absolutely nothing to do with gravitational pull on any given day. All you have to do is position with the broom's bristles properly. Unfortunately, the last 15 minutes I've been playing around with this old broom.
It all depends on the quality of the broom.
Yeah, we have an old dirty broom.
You knew our broom wouldn't balance.
No, it's not. It gets there for like a second and then it falls. I also not am. So it has to do, of course, with the broom having a really low center of gravity. So it's easier to balance anything with a low center of gravity. If it were top heavy, then of course it wouldn't be as stable. But in this case, it's just an old broom. So that's
it's an internet.
It's an internet.
So NASA
malarkey. All of it's malarkey. It's fun. It's fun to try to balance things.
I tried to do last night. It really wasn't that fun.
No. If you get bored later, you can.
It was really boring. It was very boring.
Balance the broom. So yeah, if you can do it, kudos to you for having a nice broom. That's really what you're saying.
Surprised that, here, let me see this.
No, it's. I mean, that's gross.
I'm surprised that our broom is junk. All right, on to the next story. We're done with the broom challenge.
Cold is going to be the weather story, right?
Yeah. Cold is going to be the story for us. A woman in Minnesota, of course, shopping at Target. We got one more.
Forgot one.
Something a little off. If y'all may have noticed this, she was shopping when she found this sweatshirt. It reads the Minnesota Badgers, not the Minnesota Gophers. Target responded last night saying, "Color us red, a Minnesota-based company. We know we are the home of the Gophers. Target has removed this item from stores." I think that's pretty great. That's pretty funny.
Well, but Target, of all people, messing
Target
that up,
should have known.
based in the Twin Cities, and they can't remember. They're so busy.
Somebody didn't screen print that.
Sticking with the viral theme.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
Everything trendy.
Glad we didn't miss that. That's a pretty funny story.
That's good.
So what's going on out there right now?
So right now things are pretty quiet, but we have two really big changes on the way before the end of the week. And the main one is the cold that's going to be moving on in. Certainly the coldest temperatures that we've seen so far this season. We will take a closer look at why this change is coming right after the break.
Don't miss the biggest night for animals in Dane County, Toto's Gala. Join Dane County Humane Society this March for an elegant evening with our 2- and 4-legged friends. Reserve your seats today at giveshelter.org.
Month after month, I'm doing it all. The supplements, the veggies, the water, but I still have recurring constipation, belly pain, straining, and bloating. My doctor said I could have a real medical condition called IBS-C.
From my recurring constipation and belly pain from IBS-C, I said yes to Linzess.
Linzess treats adults with IBS with constipation. Linzess is not a laxative. It works differently. It helps relieve belly pain and lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Do not give to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
I'm doing it all, and I said yes to Linzess. Ask your doctor about Linzess.
Auto show concept cars are great, especially when affordability is part of the concept. Announcing Auto Show savings time at your local Ford dealer. Now get great deals on Explorer, Escape, EcoSport, F-150, and more. Every Ford is proudly built with tomorrow's technology today, all with huge savings. Now that's a great concept. Now get $5,000 total cash back on EcoSport during Auto Show savings time at your local Ford dealer. Hurry in.
Celebrate 45 years of music with Sweet Honey in the Rock. This internationally renowned Grammy-nominated female vocal quartet remains the preeminent musical collective rooted in African American history and culture.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin.
Sweet Honey in the Rock at Overture Center, February 29th. Get your tickets today at overture.org.
Don't miss the biggest night for animals in Dane County, Toto's Gala. Join Dane County Humane Society this March for an elegant evening with our 2- and 4-legged friends. Reserve your seats today at giveshelter.org.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Oh, we have a mostly clear sky for this evening on a very calm radar. We're expecting partly cloudy skies for tonight. Overnight, it'll stay pretty quiet with high pressure down to the south, sending a little southern breeze for us. But as that shifts further east, our next opportunity for a little light snow starts to creep in. During the day on Wednesday, that snow is going to steadily approach tomorrow, staying off to the northwest for most of the day. It's more of a Wednesday night into Thursday morning event for us. But the cloud coverage builds in first. The snow comes through at night and early Thursday, and then the cold air is really going to shift on in. Temperatures dropping during the day on Thursday. We're expecting temperatures to just fall well below average, below zero even. Some high pressure off to the northwest, sending us that northwest air, that colder air down into southern Wisconsin. So plan on temperatures dropping quite a bit. We're not looking at near record-breaking lows for Friday, but it is going to be very, very cold early on in the morning. So for overnight, we stay quiet. Partly cloudy skies expected. There's that breeze coming from the south as that high pressure shifts away. The clouds are going to build in for Wednesday afternoon with the light snow picking up overnight, and the snow is going to stay pretty steady overnight for us. Notice the southeast corner of the state picking up just a little more accumulation, but this all starts to taper off early on Thursday morning, and then by Thursday afternoon, we'll actually get a little bit of sunshine building back on in. The snow coming to an end. Accumulation totals 1 to 3 inches for most of Dane County. Lesser amounts expected to the west, and those higher totals will be in the very southeast corner of the state, south of Milwaukee, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches, as they'll see a little more steady snowfall, a little lake effect snow also possible on the very far east edge of the state. And then it gets cold. Early Thursday morning, the wind chills will drop just a little bit below zero as temperatures will be in the teens early in the day. They fall through the day. Overnight lows fall below zero for early on Friday. And then for Friday morning, our wind chills will be anywhere from 10 to 25 degrees below zero. So a very cold start to the day. You'll definitely want to layer on up, and for early on, even in the afternoon, those wind chills aren't going to get too much better. So we have alert days in the forecast for Thursday and for Friday. The light snow coming through Wednesday night into Thursday. Most of it is going to stay east of Dane County, but it's likely going to make your Thursday morning commute a little longer than usual. It's going to become windy during the day, and it's going to be colder outside for Thursday morning with temperatures falling during the day. Low temperatures for early Friday dropping below zero to about 9 below. The record low about 13 below, so not quite there, but a little too close for comfort. Overnight lows tonight in the teens. For tomorrow afternoon, we'll see high temperatures a bit above average in the mid-30s. Alert days again for Thursday and Friday. Friday is Valentine's Day. It'll be cold outside. And then for Saturday, we have another chance for some light snow, mainly in the afternoon. A slight chance for flurries on Sunday, with snow possible yet again on Monday, and temperatures warming back up rather quickly this weekend and into next week. It does seem likely by the end of next week, we'll be bouncing up into the 40s.
So we get polar vortex coming, just a brief
long
one.
Cold snap. Yeah, just one day that we're looking at really cold temperatures. I guess about 2 days there, with most of Thursday and Friday counted into that. It'll be cold outside.
One day of punishment, a couple days of punishment.
A little reminder of what winter could be.
Exactly.
Yeah, it could always be worse. Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Well, the quiz show Jeopardy is halfway through its 36th season.
With host Alec Trebek's cancer announcement last year, fans have been wondering what will happen to the future of the show. Pauline Lee from our news partner WDJT in Milwaukee went to Los Angeles to find out.
3, 2, 1.
For 36 seasons, he's been the voice that calls millions to the TV set every weeknight with these iconic 3 words.
This is Jeopardy!
And he's the host.
Alex Trebek!
Ready to charm inquiring minds, and always
Thank you, everybody, and Johnny, thank you also.
appreciative of the introduction.
Welcome, everyone.
Together, Alex Trebek and Johnny Gilbert have seen Jeopardy grow and change since the very beginning.
It's exciting still to be able to do it. It's just a fun place to work.
They are the only 2 remaining members of the original crew that started 36 years ago.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the Jeopardy that about 140 million people have always known. It's Alex, it's Johnny, it's great contestants, it's fantastic writing. It's all here.
And the respect Alex and Johnny have for one another is the meaning of true Hollywood showmanship.
At the top of any area of show business, there are a few people that are really the best. And Alex is at the top of that list.
He, like you, very good at what he does. His voice is amazing.
And you know that he doesn't need glasses to read? It ticks me off. I've needed glasses for half my life now.
You're jealous?
Yes.
$200.
But with Johnny now 95 years old and Alex 79, the end of their run on America's favorite quiz show is becoming more and more of a reality.
Can't do it forever, you're right.
We are both starting to feel our ages, I believe, and we have, as you might expect for people our age, things go wrong.
Alex also recently resumed his cancer treatment after a setback in his recovery.
Thank you. I got to get ready to go to work.
For both Johnny and Alex, keeping Jeopardy on the air into the future has less to do with them and more with the show itself.
Here is the clue.
It's not just the show. It's much deeper than that.
That's part of your job, right? You make it exciting.
No, that's the contestants and the writers. They're the stars of the show. We get all kinds here on Jeopardy, folks.
Unfortunately for fans, there will be a day where Jeopardy will no longer feature these two legends.
The show will continue. It won't be the same. It'll be different, but we hope that day is a long way off.
But for now, Alex and Johnny will continue to enjoy doing the job they love and entertaining an ever-growing, adoring audience.
We are delighted to have all of you folks with us here today.
For as long as we possibly can. As long as our skill set has not diminished, then we're here.
What an incredible duo, 95 years old.
It doesn't look that old.
No, he doesn't.
My parents loved Jeopardy. It was like required watching every night. They'd watch that and Wheel of Fortune.
Mine do too.
So many of our parents we know do that.
Oh,
but
no, it's iconic.
It was pretty cool to see that. All right, more to come at 4. Up next, we'll take a look at some of the best Madison staycation options.
And then tonight on News 3 Now at 5, political reporter Amy Reed has more from the state capitol on a very busy day for lawmakers. That's coming up at 5. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings. Don't miss our new Fitchburg showroom grand opening now through March 31st.
I didn't choose this exact type of metastatic breast cancer, but I did pick clarity by knowing I have a treatment that goes right at it.
Discover Piqray, a treatment that specifically targets PIK3CA mutations in HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC. Piqray is taken with fulvestrant after progression on hormone therapy and helps people live longer without disease progression. Do not take Piqray if you've had severe allergic reactions to it or any of its ingredients. Piqray can cause serious side effects, including severe allergic and skin reactions, high blood sugar levels and diarrhea that are common and can be severe, and pneumonitis. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms of severe allergic reactions or high blood sugar while taking Piqray. Your doctor will monitor your blood sugar before and during treatment, and more often if you have type 2 diabetes. Before starting, tell your doctor if you have a history of diabetes, skin reactions, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Common side effects include rash, nausea, tiredness, weakness, decreased appetite, mouth sores, vomiting, weight loss, hair loss, and changes in some blood tests. Ask your doctor about Piqray.
It's time to renew your body and mind. It's time for Stressless. Right now, save hundreds with a free leather upgrade. Or $300 on the immensely popular Stressless Sunrise, featuring innovative ergonomic comfort systems and multiple sizes for a personalized fit. Don't wait. It's time for Stressless. Proud to be endorsed by the American Chiropractic Association. Visit stresslessfurniture.com.
See the elephants, tigers, dogs, and all the fun to be had at the Shrine Circus. Enjoy the magnificent elephants while you still can and make memories for a lifetime. Bring the family one and all to the Shrine Circus.
Come to the circus, the biggest show in town.
Dwellings, Madison's best-kept $150 secret. Visit our new Fitchburg showroom grand opening now through March 31st.
Tonight at 5, police have identified 2 women involved in a Janesville double homicide. We'll have the latest on that investigation at 5.
Snow will develop tomorrow night and possibly bring a couple of inches of accumulation. The coldest air of the winter arrives by Friday morning. My News 3 Now First Warn forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, the state assembly is set to approve a bill aimed at preventing a backlog of untested sexual assault evidence kits. But it includes 2 provisions Democrats won't support. We'll have that story tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
That's look over Lake Mendota on a sunny Tuesday afternoon, but ooh, that's a chilly picture, isn't it?
It does look cold out there.
Yeah, icy outside.
All right, maybe you're getting a little stir crazy, feel like you need a vacation.
Boy, everybody feels like that right about now. How about going on a vacation without even leaving the Madison area? It's Travel Tuesday today, and here with some ideas is Christopher Parr. He is the founder and CEO of the website Pursuitist.com. Hi, Christopher. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
Boy, when it's going to be 10 degrees or whatever it is in the next couple days, it's a good idea to just stay local and get a little break, though. Get out of the house and do something different. So you're going to look at some of the hotel options in town, and we've really got some unique and boutique hotels.
Some classic new locations and some new properties. You know, really depends on what you're interested in.
Yeah.
So, you know, why travel someplace else? Stay in Madison, be a tourist.
Yeah.
So the first hotel is a brand new hotel called the AC Hotel. It's a brand from Marriott. It's a modern, classic, new, shiny.
Kind of upscale though, compared to like, it's not like Fairfield Inn. It's not like
not at all. It's definitely more of an upgraded space, right off the square. Wonderful location. And the new, you know, Vino downtown is located there. They have over 200 bottles of wine.
Is that a rooftop?
Yeah, it's one of the best views in the whole city, especially in the summertime.
Just for the view alone, just going to, you know, Vino. So it's a great, you know, more of a classic destination. Rates go between, you know, $200 to $250 per night.
Okay.
And there've been a couple of kind of new trendy kind of places. They've redone some of the buildings along the East Wash corridor, and that includes a hotel over there as well, right?
Correct. So just travel right down in East Washington, and there is the Hotel Indigo. Yeah. So this is a new brand from Intercontinental, and what they specialize are like smaller boutique hotels in unique neighborhoods. So not each one is different. And so in this case, in Madison's situation, it's the old Mott's warehouse that they renovated.
Right.
And so it's more of a hipper. You know,
yeah, we're looking at the bar there. Very impressive.
Absolutely, and you can bring your pets, and so you know, has a great space where they have artwork from Frank Lloyd Wright and Georgia O'Keeffe. Also, the founders of Vino have also opened up a restaurant there too called Palette, which is a steak and seafood destination.
And that was the old Mott's paint building or whatever, and they've kind of incorporated that in the rooms, which is kind of cool too.
The whole hotel is sort of that way. Palette, you saw, it's really interesting how they've done that. It's neat as they've kind of honored the original structure, the Mott's.
Absolutely.
And of course, the Edgewater Hotel, speaking of beautiful views and a beautiful place to stay, is a good choice.
This is like really that classic Madison experience, and it's such a great renovation. You know, $100 renovation at this property, which is pretty significant for any town. It just really showed the investment and the interest in this landmark destination. You know, right on Lake Mendota. You know, this historic destination that has welcomed Elvis, Dalai Lama, you name it, and completely renovated. 200 brand new rooms. They have a 100 square foot spa with waterfront views, spas and steaks. Really great service at this destination.
And an ice rink too, of course.
Ice rink during the winter.
You gotta have that, right?
And are rates a little lower at this time of the year? Is this a good time to explore some of the areas?
It's a tough time, actually.
Is it?
So I was looking at rates for all the properties. Actually, the Edgewater looked pretty tight, pretty full.
Oh wow!
So they were more of upscale. So I would say, you know, that for that classic upscale experience, go to the Edgewater. If you want something more hip and more contemporary, bring your dog. Go to Hotel Indigo. But if you want more refined, there's the AC Marriott.
Well, there are a lot of options, and it's changed a lot in the last few years. Christopher, good to see you.
Great to see you, Christopher. Thanks.
More to come forward. When we come back, Valentine's Day, of course, is almost here, and the focus is on love and relationships.
Psychologist Shyla Murgain joins us when we come back with the best way to foster healthy relationships. Oh, she's brought some props. That's when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
Well, she's the beauty in the red glasses, and we love when she comes. It's Helen Marks-Dix, the State Advocacy Director of AARP Wisconsin, and we're talking family caregiving. We've talked about this issue before. It's even more important because the number is growing. 600,000 unpaid family caregivers that are having to do a long list of tasks. Run through some of those tasks.
Well, you know, sometimes it starts out simple and you're just driving or doing grocery shopping. But because of medical care and people having accidents and surgery, you end up doing some pretty major stuff, including wound care, including taking medication management, doing home dialysis, turning people who are just in bed all the time or not being very mobile. So, you know, if you have medical needs, there's a real need for the person providing that to have training.
Now, I know there's been some legislation proposed that would possibly help all of these caregivers in the situation that they're in. Where does that stand currently?
What's been introduced, nationally it's called the CARE Act, and here in Wisconsin we're calling it caregiver designation, and it would require the hospitals to give you a chance to designate a caregiver, and then they would train that person at the end, not just give them a piece of paper that said what you had to do, but actually demonstrate how to do some of these tasks.
Right.
And so we're waiting for a hearing. We need to have the hearing in the Senate and in the Assembly, and the legislative session is going to end in about 4 to 6 weeks, so we need it soon.
So if people are watching and this is really hitting home for somebody they know or their family, where can they show their support and find more information?
They can do two things. They can contact their elected officials and ask them to hold the hearing, or they can go to aarp.org/WI and get more information on this legislation.
A wealth of knowledge you are. Thank you, Helen. I'm Emmy Fink, and you are buzzed into Madison.
My psoriatic arthritis pain, I had enough. It's not getting in my way.
Joint pain, swelling, tenderness, much better.
My psoriasis, clearer. Cosentix works on all of this.
4 years and counting.
So watch out.
I got this.
Watch me.
Real people with active psoriatic arthritis are feeling real relief with Cosentix. Cosentix is a different kind of targeted biologic. It treats the multiple symptoms of psoriatic arthritis to help you look and feel better. It even helps stop further joint damage. Don't use it if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur.
I just look and feel better.
I got real relief with Cosentix.
Watch me.
Feel real relief. Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
Traffic's moving along right now on the Beltline east and westbound. A little more stop and go, though, on the eastbound side. There is an accident on the westbound side, the exit to John Nolan right now. Seeing traffic back up a little bit behind that, but then things pick up fairly quickly along the westbound side, slowing down again closer to Fish Hatchery Road, but then as you head towards Middleton, all is fairly smooth. Downtown Janesville, pretty good. The interstate, all looking good right now as well. No accidents on 39 or 90. It'll take you 26 minutes to get from Janesville to the Beltline, 16 from Sauk City to Middleton. We've added another minute on that drive from Sun Prairie to downtown at 17 minutes. Now, that's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thanks. And just in time for the jilted lovers this Valentine's Day, a story that just speaks of true love. 2 zoos in Texas. They'll name a cockroach after your ex, and then you can watch it be fed to an animal. The charge for this live-streamed event is $5. This is at the San Antonio Zoo if you're looking for a vacation plan for you and your current significant other. This is free at the El Paso Zoo. Also, a donation is suggested, however. As an extra incentive, for every $1,000 raised, the El Paso Zoo director will eat a cockroach.
Ooh, yikes.
Wow. So, there you go. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Speaking of, it is almost Valentine's Day, and couples all over the country will be celebrating their relationships.
By observing how couples interact, research can predict with up to 94% certainty whether they will break up, stay together, be happy, or unhappy.
It's interesting.
And here to talk about it, create healthy relationships, is UW Health distinguished psychologist Shyla Mergain. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Hi, Shyla. Good to see you.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. It's just around the corner.
Yes, it is.
So let's talk about this this research and what it kind of, you talk about bids for connection. What does that mean?
Yeah, Dr. John Gottman, who did that prediction of 94% accuracy, whether couples will stay together or not, says that those happiest couples are engaging in bids for connection, which is regular action to seek connection, to seek attention, affirmation, positive interaction. And he finds that those couples that are happiest 86% of the time are engaging in those bids of connection. The unhappy couples, 33% of the time. So we want to regularly engage in ways of connection as well as receiving those bids when our partners, even just our friendships, are trying to interact with us.
What are some examples of bids of connection?
You know, the first one is just kindness, that when in doubt, be kind. We find that kindness, relationships are like a plant here. You know, we have a plant, we might want to water the plant, you know, with our watering. We want to fertilize our plant, we want to give it sunshine. In the same way, relationships, in order for it to grow and thrive, kindness is those essential nutrients that really allow our relationships to thrive.
Sorry about that. Our laptop is talking to us here. Let me just turn that down.
It wants to interrupt the conversation.
It's wanting to beg for attention and connection.
The second part of it is giving your partner the benefit of the doubt. Talk about that.
Exactly. When something goes wrong, let's say we have a Valentine's date planned and our partner is late, our mind tends to go to the negative. We think about all the other times they messed up. We start to have negative attributions or judgments. They're always like that. They're being rude. And instead, be generous and charitable of thinking about their actions or intentions. Really seek to understand first, getting their perspective. Maybe they're late because they're stuck in traffic or their cell phone died and they couldn't reach you, or even better yet, maybe they're late because they were stopping to get you a gift. And so when we can, it creates really that connection versus unnecessary tension when we're trying to mind read and place judgment on somebody when really they're just trying to do the best they can.
And what is your next suggestion? It has something to do with sharing the joy?
Yes, research shows that happiest, healthiest couples that stay together, when something good happens, the other partner will respond in an active, constructive way. So they put their cell phone down, they're present, they ask questions, they want to hear more, and they celebrate, really relishing and expanding that positivity. And you know, what's destructive is if you change the topic back to yourself or point out all the reasons why it won't work, or to say, you know, and go on to something else. So really pause and celebrate the good stuff.
And finally, you know, we talk, especially like parents, we understand what timeouts are all about, but adults maybe sometimes just need a little break, right?
Yes, those closest to us really trip our trigger, and when that happens, we start to really rev up our stress response, and we can engage in destructive forms of communication. We can criticize or get defensive or show contempt or stonewall. Those 4 styles Dr. Gottman calls the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse that will destroy any good relationship. So instead, just take a time out. Take 5 minutes or 5 hours to re-regulate. Do something soothing for your nervous system, whether it's deep breathing or listening to music or phoning a friend or taking a bubble bath, until you start to think clearly, and then re-engage in that discussion. And what you'll find is that a little bit of time out will allow you to go back and actually have a productive conversation where you can work through it. That fosters greater intimacy and connection and happiness in the relationship.
All good stuff, and a very important week for relationships.
Yeah, relationships are a lot of work. You know, you've got to work at them, like you said. You've got to nurture them and take care of them. It's not on autopilot. It just doesn't happen by magic, you know?
Yeah, and I really encourage all viewers this Valentine's Day to reach out to people you care about and tell them that you appreciate them, you value them, you care about them. Just spread a little love on Friday.
That is great advice. Shiloh, thank you so much. And you have a Dream Bank event coming up.
I do. I'm very excited. It's a free event at American Family Insurance's Dream Bank, March 5th, 6:15 to 7:30. You can sign up online at amfam.com, and I'll be talking about dreaming big, achieving those big dreams with solving the upper limit problem. So hope to see everyone there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll
Happy
be right
Valentine's
back.
Day. Great to see you.
We'll be right back.
I've always had jobs centered on helping people, but now with a nursing degree from Herzing University, I've made it a career.
Having a job was one thing, but having a career, to me, that meant something completely different. With a little hard work and a degree from Herzing University, anything is possible.
I'm possible at Herzing.
He's been a leader throughout the country for the past 12 years. Mr. Michael Bloomberg is here.
Leadership in action. Mayor Bloomberg and President Obama worked together in the fight for gun safety laws, to improve education, and to develop innovative ways to help teens gain the skills needed to find good jobs.
At a time when Washington is divided in old ideological battles, he shows us what can be achieved when we bring people together to seek pragmatic solutions.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
As a business owner, I have a lot of stress in my life.
I find that a massage from Needed Relief really helps calm my mind.
Needed Relief Day Spa and Wellness is more than a place where you can come to relax and be pampered. It's a place where you can revitalize your life. Revitalize those around you and give the gift of wellness with a Needed Relief gift certificate, available online.
That's exactly what I needed.
Spend more time on your health, not your drive to the gym. Anytime Fitness has 40 area locations, so they're close to home and work. Get more strength training, more cardio, and more coaching at Anytime Fitness. Join by February 14th and get the month free.
Mornings look a little different in every household, but weekday or weekend mornings, most of us just want to know what happened overnight and what's up in the day ahead. So turn on News 3 Now this morning, 7 days a week, for everything you need to plan your day.
So when does the big chill start?
It'll start to build on in on Thursday and then really be cold outside for Friday morning and Friday afternoon. So light snow expected for us for Wednesday night into Thursday. We have an alert day in the forecast for Thursday, and then the cold air comes in for Thursday and Friday, that alert day, due to the wind chills dropping well below zero.
All right, Dana, thank you. We'll be right back.